Welcome to Pro Engage. I hope this video helps. In this video, we will be looking at placing components on a Vero board. So I've got the Vero board, that is the component side. The shiny side is the track side where the soldering happens. You can see there are clearly indicated tracks that run only in one direction. They are electrically separated. As you can see, I'm just pointing out to the first three and they're running downwards. Depending on how you have the Vero board, they could run horizontally or perpendicular. But it is important to know which side the components go. And that is an example of a circuit or a project where you can see it's clearly placed in a particular way where it is a certain height also away from the board. And also at the back after it's soldered, it's cut away also a certain length. So it is important that you have that clearance of 1 millimeter for most projects. That is the case. So let's start by again just identifying the Vero board is what we will use. Probably not this bigger piece. Normally you will have a smaller piece of Vero board for your project, and you will place the components according to some sort of planning that you did before. So as you can see, I'm placing a resistor or a diode, at least is the first component I'm placing. And as you can see, I'd never used a tool to bend the legs. I'm just scared I will damage them. But you know, you have the pros obviously just using a tool because they know even the size or length that they can bend at. For me, it's easier. I know there will be no damage on the legs. As you can see, I'm bending the legs at the bottom on the track side so that simply when I have to solder, they don't fall out unnecessarily. So I've just bent the legs opposite directions. If it's bent the same direction, then it also have a tendency of just slipping out. Next is a capacitor. And I'm just straightening out the legs a bit. Depending on how they're packaged, it can be pretty challenging to get them straight. Sometimes they are just straight, again, how they are packaged. So I've placed the capacitor, and in this case, I'm not particularly following an actual circuit, but merely just showing you that certain legs will be on the same track because it is an electrical connection. So I've placed my capacitor. Generally, in a lot of power circuits, you'll have a cap positive connecting with a diode's one leg, and the cap's negative will be actually on the negative part of the circuit anyway. So the next one is a resistor I'm placing. Again, the resistor's one leg is on the positive side, and the other leg will be part of another circuit inside the circuit itself. So again, you'll see the fingers at the bottom just bending the little legs over. You can see there clearly I've bent it. Right, next component, LED. In this case, the LED, it's almost part of the load circuit, and the one leg of the LED, the positive, making contact, almost like a series circuit, positive to negative. So again, the resistor is just a flow through, a protective device in this case. The purpose of this video clearly is to just place components. So this is just a method. Again, you saw me just sticking the legs of the LED into the holes there of the Vero board and just pushing it all the way down without having to use a particular tool. That we don't have to bend too much on the components. I think we leave the bending almost for at the end when we want to test. But here I'm showing you clearly that those little legs are on one track, and this is what you need to make sure of. It must line up with the circuit that you've planned, and so this placement of components should almost be identical to your planning, because your planning is on a piece of paper with a replica of the Vero board. And so we will do that in another video. But in this case, I'm just pointing out that these legs are on one track that is internally in the circuit. They're on the same line, and at the bottom they link up together also on the negative. So that is your placement. Thank you so much.